So we're talking about how you can negotiate to change that. And her body says it's possible. So I was kind of walking through that exercise while you were negotiating the internets.
Wow, that was like everything crashed, nothing worked, and then suddenly it did. I don't know what will happen with the recording, because it started already downloading the first recording and it stopped. So we're going to have...
Okay, so are you pushing record now then?
Yes, I did. So it was very interesting. So we might only use, I don't know what we're going to do. So what's possible here? So yes, it can be uncomfortable. It probably has to do with your resistance to it. Like if you're okay with it, your body doesn't have to have this dramatic, information transformation. If you would be more like, okay, body can have more ease, if you would be willing to be more maybe aware of them immediately, maybe, I'm just like speculating, okay? It wouldn't have to give you such, dramatic, it's like saying hi to someone versus screaming in their face like, hey, I'm here, right? It's like that. Or maybe there's something called the build-up. It's like they've been trying to communicate with you for so long, and they've been here for so long and so long and so long that it's like this piled up stuff that like the mountain of trash, if you clean it up one by one, it would never grow to this amount. So it could be different things for you. You probably have some major capacities with it and they're not fully owning it and acknowledging it. And maybe they're like, hey, let's go then. Yeah. And you're like, it hurts. I'm comfortable. Right. So like, okay, guys, and you the boss. So you can say, hey, step back. You the boss. I know you here, step back. Thank you. Okay, now first step forward. Like you can organize them. You organize them. You're the boss. You have the body, you're the boss. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else who have a question? Now we have new participant, Naomi. Any other questions or not? So we know entities are just like people, just without the body. She was listening to me. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Then you can learn to do 3 things with the entities. There's no more things that you're ever going to do with entities. You're going to talk to them, communicate with them, clear them, and receive from them. That's it. All these conversations can be put in one of those categories or 2 or 3 of them. Okay. So in a class, in a Talk to the Entities beginning class, we actually explore all of that. We practice how to clear them left and right, how to clear all kinds of different types of entities, how to clear a specific, a problem with the entity. Then we talk about different kinds of entities with names and different entities then for some people belong only in fairy tales and to beings of light and so on. So there's many different categories of them. We talk a lot about trusting you, because this is, for me, this class really opened me up to the space where I have to trust myself, where I cannot doubt, because this is impossible to do when you don't trust yourself. So you will start slowly building a muscle, and maybe really fast, of like knowing that you know, acknowledging that you know, owning it, like with all the molecules in your body, and trusting you. Even if what you get, it's like against everything everybody's saying, but you know what you know. So this is this place of empowerment. This is this place of becoming the dominant entity in your life, with everyone and everything around you. And then we talk about communicating with entities, which can be applied also to communicating with things around you. As I said, it could be a business, could be a car, it could be a house. It does not have to be applied only to entities. So we do exercises, you pair up and you literally talk to entities. And the funny thing is, like, people are like, I think I was just talking to an entity. Oh my gosh, I was actually talking to a ghost, spirit. And you do. And I haven't met anyone in those classes, and I facilitated so many that I could not count them at this point, that who could not talk to the entities. So either the people that make it to the class, they all have capacities and know how to do it, or maybe we all can do it. We just not know how to, or we don't try. So there is a clearing, communicating, and there's receiving. Receiving is more advanced conversation, but I love touching upon it, and I love talking about it because everything is about receiving. Your whole life is about receiving. If you are willing to receive, if you open up to receiving and clear all the crap about not deserving and I'm not good enough, all of that, like you can receive from anything, any molecule in the universe. And this is the most beautiful thing you can create in your life. And then there's conversations about ancestors, which is huge conversation in Asia, for example, and Latin America, and some cultures are more into ancestors, some or less. But I love talking about it and clearing all of that. We talk about walk-ins. We talk about black magic. We talk about what else? Different things that can have to do with entities or awareness of energies and entities. And there's a bunch of clearings in the book as well. You get a manual, 60 plus pages of manual with the information that you can take home. You get the recordings, and also we'll be doing evening classes, specialty classes about entities and money and entities and bodies. So I love working with bodies, and that's like my thing. And entities are so closely tied together with the subject, so it's phenomenal how you can use all of that. So we do talk more about our awarenesses of entities with the body and what they do to us or could create in a body with the body, and just greater possibility with that. Also money and entities, money is all about receiving, entities are all about receiving. So what can you create if you employ or use or invite entities to co-creating your life? So those are shorter 2-hour specialty classes, really, really fun. And you guys create those classes practically with your questions. So okay, if entities can be protective of you and make other people uncomfortable and the entities don't want them around you. So protective of you, absolutely. As I said, entities, problems or situations, or just like relationships problems. You might have a dad who was really protective of you when you're a child, and then he dies and he still feels like he needs to protect you, and you're like, Dad, I'm 62, come on, right? And he's like, oh, my child, my sweet precious child, right? So like you can have this kind of conversation. It could be somebody from another lifetime who still wants to protect you or take care of you, or you have some kind of vow or commitment, like I'm gonna always take care of you, and it was like 35 lifetimes ago, and you still like take care of each other. And like, I don't know, I always have this presence next to me and I don't want it, but it kind of feels good. So we explore all these different relationships, and it's phenomenal how different things come out in a class. I was like, oh my gosh, I always have this or that, or I couldn't get rid of this. Yes, because it's actually an entity. So people might be uncomfortable, of course. And I always had this thing when somebody had a lot of entities, especially demons, I couldn't look this person in the eyes, and I felt so bad I cannot look this person in the eyes. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why can I? And I later on realized that they were like so demon ridden, it made me so uncomfortable. It would be so creepy for me. I couldn't even like look at them. So now I acknowledge that, demons, okay, this person has demons, so I know what to do. But before, it just like, it was too creepy for me. So some of us have a bunch of entities. Maybe you have like this, I don't know, whole army with us, because we used to be a general that led them all to death, and they're still with us, following us. And I'm like, and you a nice little lady, pretty lady, and you have like this, battered soldiers, dead soldiers with armor on you, following you. So like, there's infinite possibilities with like what can be occurring with that. I don't know if it helped. I didn't. When the entities make you, and okay, so entities, okay, so first of all, I went like really far without the basics. Sorry. Basic is, first of all, nobody, nothing can do anything to you. You invite entities. Okay, you invite them, you allow that. That's number one. So they don't do anything to you. You let them do something to you because you're unwilling to be something. And I often ask, like when I have some persistent buggers around me, I ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to outcreate this energy, this entity? What is it that this entity is inviting me or showing me? What is it that I'm unwilling to be to kick this entity out. When the normal standard clearing doesn't work, there is something maybe this entity is showing you, inviting you to. And demons do that too. Like there's nothing else that will make you step up more than a powerful demon that's, bugging you with something. So it is fascinating subject for me. And for many others. And as I said, possibilities are endless with what you can create with them, what you can learn about them, and what do you know about this entities stuff? What do you know? We all have our awarenesses. If you're watching it now or in the future, you know something. Yeah, what do you know? And trust you. What do you know? Okay, we should probably end soon, but maybe Rudrani, you want to say, when am I coming to Nashville?
Hello. So we are doing multiple things in March. Oh my gosh, now you want the dates, and I was totally not ready for that. So we're talking about March. Debbie, does somebody know the dates? We are doing Friday. I'm going to pull it up right now. Here we are.
Oh, thank you.
This is me pulling this up in real time. And thank you for your, thank you. I'm hosting 9 events, which is the reason why I have to look at this, because I have before you even actually get here, Gosia, I've got okay, so Entities and Money with Gosia Lorenz in Nashville, Friday, March 23rd, 3 to 5 p.m. No prerequisites. And lovely class, Entities, Money, because you can certainly employ them to help you out, and I do a lot of that. I have them help me energy pull, but I'm sure Gosia knows a lot more about it than I do. And then the same day from 5:30 to 7:30, we're doing Entities and Bodies. So that is all prior to the big show. The morning of Friday, March 23rd, we will be doing, excuse me, that's not right.
Saturday.
The morning of March 24th, which is Saturday, we will be doing from 10 to 12, we will be doing an intro, which is a prerequisite for the 2-day class. Mm-hmm. You can take it and decide whether or not you want to do the 2-day class. And if you choose to do it, then March 24th, 25th, from immediately after the intro, we'll be doing the first day, and then the following day, the second day. And what a delightful possibility for us to have Gosia, because she's a pro, and
thank you.
We're going to learn a lot. Absolutely, we are going to play and learn a lot, and blow away all these myths about entities and fears and doubts, and start creating. Mm-hmm. Because you can create and manipulate with what you got going on here, but why not in other dimensions? Because these things that don't have bodies, they really want us to notice them, and so if you give them a little bit, they're willing to contribute more than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
That's been my experience. And I kind of like beings with no bodies better than the ones that have bodies most of the time, because they appreciate you so much for actually acknowledging them, which is what anybody wants, right? I mean, that's my experience, Gosia. But those are the classes. If you want to put those dates down, we're talking about Friday, March 23rd, and then 24th and 25th for the big class. Yeah. And we're so glad that you could come to this invitation to what Talk to the Entities could mean for you. I wish we were live streaming it. If we can do that, we'll figure it out.
If you have a good internet, I usually stream the class. So
okay.
It's just a matter of internet connection. Sometimes when I travel in some, faraway countries, internet.
So we'll look into it, right?
Yeah, if you know that you have strong internet at home, we do Zoom, and I record videos as well, and you get video recording and audio recording and ask questions. It's just like being in a class. So from far, far away, and that's awesome. So I see one last question, and I want to address it from Jana or Jana. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. I would say Jana in Polish. What if you were the entity? Yes, you are an entity. Absolutely, we are entities. For me, ideally, one entity in one body. But some people like it 5 entities in one body, and some like 500 entities in a body. And this is where usually things get weird, right? Yeah, you absolutely are an entity. You're the being inside of a body. Well, the body's inside of you because the being is huge, but definitely you are the being. You are an entity. So when you die, because you are defined energy, you define yourself in many different ways, you will most likely still be a woman, Yana, or Jana, in this and this age, and mom of this and that, and wife of this and that, and daughter of this and that, right? So because we keep this identity, we hang on to this entity rather than like, oh, I'm an infinite being. Dissolve into oneness. That usually doesn't happen. So that's why we have these entities hovering around us and bugging us, because they're still hanging on to this identity, usually from the last lifetime. And this is, also, of course, again, huge conversation for the class, but I gave you so much information today. And I hope that helped you, at least for now, and you have more curiosity. And there's a Talk to the Entities Facebook group. You can always ask questions, and it's phenomenal. And Shannon has great classes, advanced classes. You have to start with the beginning class to go in more advanced. And it's really a beautiful world of very, very different possibilities that you might have considered before. So thank you so very much for being here with us. Apologize for the technical difficulties. It never happened to me, so that was interesting. We talked about entities, and we talked about power of Fusayo, and then there is this blow up, right, of internet.
We are so grateful, Gosia, that you could take the time for us tonight. And if any of you want to say thank you to Gosia, unmute yourself for a moment and just say thank you and acknowledge the space of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Rudrani, for organizing it, inviting me, and being a rock star. For real, a rock star. She is a rock star, and a rock star of creation. And she is a singer rock star. So
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Thank you
right
so
voice.
much, guys.
All about the right voice.
Oh my gosh, right voice for you. Dziękuję, kochana moja. Wow, thank you so much. I am stopping the recording. See you somewhere in the world, guys. Ciao for now.